Con, is white becoming the new black? ICE riots and Pauline problems, man. First and foremost, I want to say call halal Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushai. Everybody knew that's all praise to the Most High God and His name is only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Man, and with my colleague here,
Oh, my fault. Jumped the gun a little bit. It's your boy Yak, man, out the Masada.
That's right, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight, man. Not really tonight, but this afternoon. Right, we're stuck in the house. Snowstorm in Dallas. Pray for us. Pray our power stay on because the grid. Greg Abbott talking about it's the strongest it's ever been. We're more prepared since 2021. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right, nigga. But pray for us though that this power stays on because Texas, right? We for some reason we keep having a storm every year, but we're never prepared for it.
Right? No, dead ass, bro. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, but speaking of ICE, they're doing it again. They've decided to end another of the lineage of evil. The lineage of Esau, LOE, and I'm starting to think by looking at this and looking at what's going on in the world, what ICE is doing in the world, I'm starting to really think white is becoming the new black. I'm starting to come to the conclusion. Oh, now y'all are finding out what it feels like that when you do anything, they kill you, and then they go on the news and lie about it. I'm like, oh man, I thought that was only reserved for us. I thought that was only reserved for niggas. Go ahead.
Hey man, all lives matter, man.
Yeah, I guess they do now.
All lives matter. All
lives matter, right? They do.
But we don't care.
Yeah. We don't care. All lives matter. They matter to a certain Israelite organization. But but yeah, also, we're going to talk about some Pauline epistles later, because Israelites are struggling out here. And the Israelites are struggling out here on this thing of ours, man. This thing of ours is like these debates, these lives, we're here to help. I'm here to offer assistance, right? But first and foremost, we have to talk about how white is becoming the new black. I'm starting to see it. I'm looking like, bro, we about to be up out of here, right? Because there's one thing about the lineage of evil, right? There's one thing about the lineage of evil that y'all are going to find out. They're not going to take that, right? Now, we've seen throughout history, we've seen them fight wars over them owning their slaves. We've seen them fight wars against Britain because they didn't want to take the oppression of Britain. They're not going to take that. So what that's going to ultimately lead to is prophecy being fulfilled, most of which we see in Revelation, Second Esdras, and some of the major and minor prophets, right? So let's look at this because I want people to be informed about what's going on in the world and what's going on in just Trump's seeming like never-ending reign, right?
Right.
Let's go into this.
Federal immigration officials have killed a second person in Minneapolis. Footage is circulating on social media. Through our tip line at Dropsite News, we obtained footage of it from the perspective of what appears to be the woman in pink who's filming it from the sidewalk. We want to show you that harrowing footage here. Viewer discretion is advised. And then after this, we're going to go through what DHS has said about the killing, and we're going to show other video perspectives of it. Let's roll this here.
Go. What the fuck is wrong with you? The fuck, people? The fuck is wrong with you? Honestly.
Go on, Mark.
Federal immigration officials in Minneapolis have shot and killed a second person. It is January 24th, a Saturday. And I'm going to start here with the statement from the Department of Homeland Security, and then we're going to run through some of the footage.
Now, right here, y'all are about to find out how white is becoming the new black right here. Because hours after this happened yesterday, I really wish I could have went live yesterday. But hours after this happened, the government has their own take on what happened. So I want y'all, since y'all just seen what happened, I don't want to interrupt it because I know what people do, right? After y'all seen what just happened there, I want y'all to listen to what the government says and see if that's what you saw. I just want to see. I just want to know. Oh, I clicked the wrong video. There we go.
So you can determine for yourself, how close to reality the statement that government officials released matches what actually happened. So let me put this up here. So this is from Fox News, which reports at 9:05 a.m. Central Time. This is the statement from DHS. As DHS law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted operation in Minneapolis against an illegal alien wanted for violent assault, an individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun, seen here. The officers attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. More details on the armed struggle are forthcoming. Indeed, they are. Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics on the scene immediately delivered medical aid to the subject, but the subject was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines and no ID. This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. About 200 rioters arrived at the scene and began to obstruct and assault law enforcement on the scene. Crowd control measures were deployed for the safety of the public and law enforcement. This situation is evolving and more information is forthcoming. Okay, so let's take a look at what we know. So
now, is that what y'all saw? is that what you seen with your eyes? Because I've talked to people, acquaintances of mine who aren't in my realm of like being a Hebrew Israelite or all these things like that. A lot of them just say ICE is just doing their job. They just I told you. Did I tell you about the cognac?
No.
So I got to a dispute in my job the other day about it's almost like ICE is just doing their job. Okay,
these niggas is crazy. These niggas are crazy, bro.
I just want to know, is that what you seen? Because I'm wondering how y'all are going to spin this one. Because you're talking about he came in with a gun and the intent to do X, Y, and Z. The man had his phone out.
You remember? So remember the woman that got shot in the car in Minneapolis, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did you watch that? Basically what they did on Redacted, talking about it.
Yeah.
You remember the old white dude was saying how she interfered with their job and their investigation, so they have every right to use force because she interfered with the investigation, and they're federal agents, they're not police. So he was basically vouching and saying they can do that because she's technically a criminal because she's breaking the law. So it's there seems like to be a continuous spin of, even if you just getting in their way in general in any type of way, you really have to be ready to die about it, because either you're gonna have to kill them or they're gonna kill you.
Yeah, and the thing is about that is, and I would be, I would be okay with that. But the issue is when we look throughout history, they don't afford Black people, we're the people of color, that same type of liberty of just if you resist, we're just gonna give you a warning shot. We're gonna just maybe hit you, maybe beat you, right? But if you were a so-called white person or the lineage of evil, right? If you're part of the lineage of evil, the LO, right?
You get a little more grace, you might get
you've been given grace. We've never seen them just do this to the lineage of evil, right? And they're treating them like how we've been treated. They don't give you grace. They end your life. They immediately tell lies and say we have to wait for the investigation, right? And we've seen all these things with our eyes and just see, what? Something's different now. right? Something is different now.
Yeah.
They're finally treating y'all like they've been treating us. Oh well, they were trying to obstruct and stuff like that.
Right, yeah, stop resisting, stop, all that.
Y'all just shoved the woman for no reason, and the man stood up for her. And yes, he was carrying, right? That's lawful for you to do as an American citizen. Second Amendment, right? You know, the same people who are in charge right now parakeet the Second Amendment all the time, but for some reason it doesn't apply when it's against them. But you know, that's neither here nor there. He was exercising his Second Amendment right? They took his gun from him, his pew-pew. I don't want to say that. They took his pew-pew from him, right? And then they said, gun. Oh, I said it, I did it again, right? But there's no way you can say that. That wouldn't make any sense if I put pew-pew there. But like they said that, and then they intended to kill this man. They unalive this man. That's what they do to black people. Y'all are finally feeling it. So you know what that started to make me think? That started to make me think now we're about to get to a point to where they're not about to care about anybody. We about to get in that Matthew 24 where Christ was talking about iniquity is going to abound.
Yeah.
Love will lead to wax cold. Like we're getting there. That's what we need to understand. Because people, like you see black people talking about, oh, this isn't our fight. I mean, kind of, but at the same time, we're getting to a point to where this is going to spill over into something bigger.
See, and then Salaki, and then like just to kind of let me back on everything you're saying, like it's crazy how he's exercising his Second Amendment right, and within that Second Amendment, it's the reason you have the right to bear arms is really for whenever the government gets out of hand, or when government officials they abuse their authority. Mm-hmm. That was an example of them abusing their authority, and it still didn't matter. So it's like it kind of goes back to that life and death situation, and then it's like it isn't our fight, and like you know what I'm saying. I definitely agree, like because our tragedy, their tragedy is our Tuesday. This shit been happening. This shit been happening, and I stole that. I'm not gonna act like I just created that off the spot. I got that from Grits and Eggs podcast, right? But them, like, we've been asking for not reparations per se, but support this and that. And you know, when we were screaming Black Lives Matter, what do you hear? All lives matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not. But
they make good on their promise now that all lives matter.
All lives matter now. Yeah. They make it. You're right. You're 100% right. Yeah. And it's like now it's time for us to have affirmative action with ourselves, and it's more so like knowing how to protect yourself and knowing how to protect yourself spiritually. Mm-hmm. And like if this is not more time now than ever for anybody that isn't realizing what's going on to get close to the Father and build that relationship with God to have that hedge of protection, it probably will never come.
Yeah, you probably lost cause.
Yeah, because like if you think white people get shot in the street and you think you safe in America and you're one of the good ones, you're not like everybody else, you're done for.
Yeah, it's over with. So let's continue in this, go. And then I got 2 more videos I want to show y'all, and I got some precepts too.
According to DHS, the person approached with a weapon. Let me pull up video that we now have that precedes the killing. That this is the same kind of backdrop to the killing that you're going to see later. This red building here. This is from a vehicle.
They ain't doing too much, man, and they keep pushing people.
Oh, this is the actual killing itself. I want to show you a different video first. Hold on. Footage that was taken by a passerby before the altercation. This also tracks the beginning of the altercation. Okay, there. This is allegedly the man who soon after this will be killed. So he is filming the officers. You can see he's stepping back now. Now the officer is kind of pushing him back. He's going back.
He tried to use his white privilege. Look, because it's been cashing so long. It's just like, you know, I just thought I could make a purchase here, right? That's what he tried to do. It turns out his card is declined, right? And we all found out. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
Back in his hand, you can see a phone. According to DHS, this man approached officers with a 9mm. He's now looking back to make sure he doesn't slip on ice. Concerned for his safety. His life is about to be ended. And so immediately we see that no, this man was not any target of any enforcement operation. He was somebody there to observe what law enforcement was doing, and he did not have a 9mm. There's his second hand. Do you see his second hand there? No gun in the second hand. No gun in his left hand, and a phone in his right hand. Now,
but hold up, y'all got to understand that, like I said in the beginning of this, when this happened, and then hours later, you see the government. I forgot some gnome. I forgot her name. But she went on there and said this man approached him with the gun, right, with the pew pew, right, approached him with his weapon, right. That pause actually approached him. There's so much inside joke going on with that. I don't even know what we're talking about with that one. But the bigger the profit. But you know,
I can't wait for the year to be over with already.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was gonna say, but you see how the story is already fabricated? They're already lying. It was like 2 or 3 hours after this happened, and they're already literally telling you a lie. I said, this is only reserved for us. I've only seen that with us. You know, when George Floyd passed, all we saw was pictures like he was part of he was a gang member. Every time one of us dies, immediately there's a picture of us looking like a gang member or brandishing a weapon or doing X, Y, and Z, right? But with these people, they're essentially doing the same thing. That's a character assassination. Like he's going there to actually inflict harm on these people. They're assaulting his character. It's a software version of it because with us coming all these pictures and
it's quick,
unrighteous witnesses. But go ahead.
No, I was saying it's quick. Like instantly, the day after, if not a few hours, they didn't found an Instagram page. Just like remember, what's his name, Carmelo Anthony out here in Frisco. They put up pictures of him like with BB guns. And bro was like a 4.0 student athlete and everything, lives in Frisco, Texas, got money, like ain't got to do nothing, but he just got BB guns. But then the brothers that died, like they had guns and everything, camoed up, all that, but you don't see none of that until we got to dig it up. But it's in an instant, they'll find anything that we have. Yeah.
But I was gonna say, it's like the thing is like they're doing it to them, but this is a softer version of it. But we've never seen them just do it to them like that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, oh no, it's about to be real. It's about to be real for us then.
Yeah.
If they doing them like that, you know, they'll be looking at me, man. You want some of this too? I said no.
No, yeah.
But look at this.
Now, let's move to.
Here, let me skip ahead because I think he takes some time to find it.
Oh shit! What the fuck? They killed him? Did they fucking kill that guy? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Not again! Are you fucking kidding me? That guy's dead.
Bro, wait a minute. I just noticed too. They said they immediately rendered aid. Is that what you saw?
Hell no.
They immediately rendered aid.
Buddy was just laid like out in the street.
Yeah, like a dog.
Literally.
So this man has been pronounced dead. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Now I'm going to play for you the key moment that where DHS is saying that the man was armed and was attacking officers. You're going to see. Well, let's just let you see for yourself what you make of that claim.
This though, bro.
Okay, we can run this a few times so that you can get a close look at it. In that officer's right hand, you can see the gun right there.
From him already.
So he has pulled the gun at this point
Bro, these niggas are.
from the man's waistband. It is legal to carry a firearm in Minneapolis, by the way. So there he is. So they pull it out. He has not yet been shot. He is on his knees, He is on his hands and knees, surrounded by my count, 8 officers. At least 8. 8 you can see. Let's watch it one more time.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If they took the strap from him and it's 80 on, you still feel
So he pulls that out.
In position of law enforcement.
So at this point, this man is unarmed. If they plan to effect some sort of arrest here, it's unclear what he did. You saw him; he was just filming the officers, and then they kind of push him down to the ground. He did, it seems like, struggle on the ground, but why they were pushing him to the ground in the first place is not at all obvious. There's nothing illegal about filming officers. Nothing illegal about having a firearm with you. So they take the firearm from him, and it's after that that you see the shots fired. So according to the Minneapolis Tribune, phones were being confiscated, and some, or according to people who were on the scene, police were trying to confiscate, or not police, but federal immigration officials were trying to confiscate phones, and that some witnesses were taken into custody. This is a developing story. We're going to learn a lot more about who this man is, who was just executed. We're going to learn about who the shooter was. We're going to hopefully get video from the woman in pink.
Oh, look who it is, man.
Shalom, man.
Shalom, Van Deacon eyes, man.
That's right.
This guy right here,
Brothers wicked, man. I was out there in Houston. Gay niggas called. They didn't even answer the phone, bro.
Oh, no.
They didn't answer the phone, bro. I couldn't believe it, bro. I couldn't believe it, bro.
I was locked in, man.
It's all love. I'm just BSing.
But so, hey, you caught up?
I see y'all going over the incident in Minneapolis.
Yeah,
I see what's going on, and it's getting real bad out here. When they start snatching up white people, that's a different feeling right there, huh? Everybody's scared now.
I was like, oh, the gloves are off now. Okay,
all right. We're on this level now.
26, man. We're in the first month.
Okay.
Yeah, this shit is crazy.
If you scroll back, you'll see that there is a woman in pink who was filming directly, just feet away from the scene, and she's lucky that she wasn't killed herself. So there's a lot more to learn about this at this moment. But from the video that we have so far, this appears to be a man who was observing immigration officials while they were in the street, which is legal, who was carrying a weapon. Whether or not he had a permit for the weapon, we don't know at this point. It's not like you saw those federal immigration officials ask him if he had a permit. They pulled it out of his waistband and then executed him. We'll continue to follow this story, and we'll bring you news on it as it develops.
Yeah, so that's what I seen yesterday. I was like, we're going live. We're going live, and this is for everybody's information. This is breaking points. I think that this dude on the screen has another page called Drop Point and Drop Site. I forgot which one. They're both pretty good. Like if you're looking for news places that aren't CNN or Fox News that actually are independent, this is where I go. Add that and redacted. Now, speaking of CNN, Fox News, what is ABC? Watch this. You're gonna love this. So, right before this even happened. This was 2 days ago. After they had already unalived that Nicole Good woman. Watch this.
To hear President Trump's team tell it.
Minneapolis is on the brink of an all-out rebellion.
You can use the term insurrection. You can use the term domestic terrorism.
The Insurrection Act is a tool at the president's disposal.
With the deadly shooting of Renee Good by an ICE officer in broad daylight, sparking days of protest in the city and across the country. The Pentagon is lining up more than 1,500 troops, two defense officials tell NBC News, in case the president decides to invoke a 219-year-old law called the Insurrection Act. The law, signed by Thomas Jefferson, essentially allows the president to use troops on Americans to, quote, suppress an insurrection, domestic violence, unlawful combination, or conspiracy.
You see that? You see that? They can literally use American troops on American citizens. You know what that kind of sounds like? Martial law. You know what also is a prophecy in the prophecy in the Bible? Martial law, right? Yep. Political uprisings, insurrections by name, all of that is there, right? Like, and speaking of, because you can see right here on the tab, this movie I watched this last night, the Civil War movie, not about the ancient Civil War, not ancient, but the old one, but like one that could happen if Texas secedes and California secedes, and they go up against, I guess, the other Americans, people who were left in America. That's a great movie. I suggest everybody go watch that. But it's starting to look like that though right now, because the thing is, like I said earlier, the lineage of evil, lineage of Esau, LOE, right? You know, if this starts happening to them, they're not going to accept this. Like I said before, they didn't accept it from the British. They didn't want to accept it when they had to surrender their slaves. They don't accept it when you tell them they can't do something in general because of, you know, their hubris as a race and as a people, right? The lineage of evil. That's why they call it that. They're not going to accept that. So as long as this continues to happen unchecked, yeah, we know how these people act. And us being in the know as far as like what prophecy looks like and being Bible believers, we need to pay attention to things like this, because this is letting you know what time period you're in. We're not telling everybody, oh, let's pick up pitchforks and go out. No, we're not doing all that. You need to be patient and watch, like it talked about in 2nd Esdras, right? Measure the time diligently. This is us measuring the time diligently and being watchmen. Because a lot of people ain't talking about this. Or enough people ain't talking about it. You know, some people are replaying clicks about white people saying black people are Israelites. You know, we've been seeing for the last like couple decades. But you know, we need to be watchmen. That's what we need to do. So let's continue with. Unless y'all got something y'all want to add.
It suspends the constitutional protections that prohibit the U.S. military from enforcing domestic laws. And it gives the president vast discretion to decide what is an insurrection.
The law is written in vague and archaic terms that don't provide clear boundaries for the.
So whenever they feel like it, that's what that means. It's archaic and it's like vague to where you can interpret however you want. That means they could do this whenever they want, which means it's always been the plan. And of course it is the plan, because we see what the Lord says. There we go.
President to invoke the law. That's why it's important to look at how the law has been interpreted and applied by the executive branch.
The president toying with the idea for years, like in his first term after the George Floyd protests launched a nationwide movement, or similar anti-ICE protests in Los Angeles, Portland, and Chicago over the last year.
If the governor can't do the job, we'll do the job.
I'd be allowed to use, if I wanted, the Insurrection Act.
So far, he's never committed, but saying on Tuesday, it's still very much on the table.
Do you still think it's necessary?
I don't think it is yet. It might be at some point. It is actually very common. You know, with me, they'll make it like a big deal, but it's been used by over 40% of the presidents during their term.
He's right that many presidents have used it, about 30 times over the years. Abraham Lincoln did, to essentially launch the Civil War.
Oh. He did it to essentially launch the Civil War. Okay. You know, wow. What does that sound like? You know, let me go ahead and circle this right here. What does that sound like? You know, that's where we are, right? And you know what starts that is insurrections in a lot of cities. Now I bring that up because the Bible talks about that. Watch this. Can you read it for me?
Yeah, I got you.
I need to zoom it in.
I'll just be good like that.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Con, this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, and verse 16. There will be great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control. While ignoring the legitimate government, there will no longer be free access to the cities.
Boom.
Because
that's what we're seeing. That's what we're on the precipice of seeing. Right. I'm not gonna just be a false prophet and say, oh, it's gonna happen tomorrow, or this could be no. We're seeing things getting closer and closer and closer to this. This has to happen. That's what the Lord said. Right. God. But we're seeing things inch closer and closer and closer to that. Us being in the know, and people who need to measure the time diligently, basically pay attention to the current events that's going on around you. You're watching for this, and that's what we're seeing with all these things with ICE. With white becoming the new black, right? You know how they say orange is the new black, so white is becoming the new black.
Yeah.
And that's what we're getting closer and closer and closer to seeing, man. Yeah, continue.
Come, verse 17. There will no longer be free access to the cities, because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live. Driven by famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions.
Well, the pause right there, right? And that's something we're already kind of there in a way, because it talks about terrible famine and suffering. That's going to be brought on by the economy. You know, if anybody's been paying attention in the last 2 years, gold and silver prices, why they've been skyrocketing?
Going crazy.
Because the government keeps printing money. People don't want these bonds that they're giving that they're trying to sell off to people. That causes a downturn in a weakness in your dollar just in general, your currency. Because when you look at, I watched that Civil War movie yesterday. When they were trying to get gas, this is like early in the movie. When they were trying to get some gas, they tried to offer to do $300. He said, "That's not $300 is only going to buy you a sandwich." And then they said, "Well." Yeah, that's what they said. That's only gonna buy you.
That sandwich is crazy, nigga.
They said, what was it? They said, well, we got $300 Canadian. It's okay, we'll take that. I was like, damn.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that movie, bro. I'm telling you, y'all go watch that. I paid $3 on YouTube to go watch that movie. Go watch that movie, bro.
That's crazy to think about. Like, if you had $300. And nigga in America, like, what you gonna do with that? Bro, the thought of that is like, Jesus, you gonna have to start robbing. You gonna have to. Yeah. Oh, he froze.
So like, y'all know what happened, bro.
But that's gonna cause people, because when you look at the world at that time, when you in that movie, right? When you look at the world at that time in that movie, people are robbing people. People are taking over cities, watching over cities with long guns, and just being. I think the word is dystopian. It's like a dystopian society around everywhere.
Yeah,
in the United States, right? That's what this looks like, and we already see how the economy is going. Look at there. I even talked about this in a video maybe last week about how beef prices are expected to soar by 60%, and what's driving that is because of that artificial inflation that they did during COVID. And now at the same time, you got more McDonald's churning out burgers at record prices to the point that not just McDonald's, but fast food in general, churning out burgers and beef in ways into record levels, to where y'all churning out more hamburgers than there are cows.
Yeah.
That's about to soar. Like, it's about to get to a point where beef is going to be a luxury in 2026. That's what people are reporting. I don't know why nobody's talking about it. Bro, matter of fact, I went to the store the other day and saw some meat prices. I was like, you know what? Yeah, we about to go ahead and get some chicken and salmon.
Yep. Real mistake. Last night, walked in there, tried to get some. I said, nah, chicken always. But, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what? Them wings never did me wrong.
You see how you buy and say brisket damn near 70. If you want like a real choice, that shit $100 easily. Like that's bottom level, like the $100, bro. Anything,
don't talk about Wagyu.
Yeah, don't even say that. Don't even say that.
Don't even talk about you want to get some lamb. Like for
Man,
one
bro.
shoulder, I think it's like $12.
Bro, that shit is crazy. Piece of meat this big.
A shoulder.
Yeah, that is crazy. They will clearly be doing that too. But that's it. But yeah, can you continue?
God. I'm gonna start back in 19. Driven by famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions. God says, I am calling together all the kings of the earth to come north, south, east, and west to turn back and restore what they have taken. I will pay them back with the same harsh treatment they have always given to my chosen people, the Lord says. I will use my power, and there will be no mercy for sinners. I will put to death all who have murdered innocent people. My anger has become so fierce that fire has blazed out to burn up the foundations of the earth and to burn up sinners like straw. Sinners who do not keep my commands are doomed, says the Lord.
No, so you stop right there. So now it's like, but he's going to restore all the things that they've taken from the Lord's chosen people. Now, what that's making reference to is Babylon, right? Because we see the places are going to be on fire, but there's one named place where it's going to have an ultimate destruction. And what's said about that place is going to have the ultimate destruction by fire. It talks about them repaying what they did to the Israelites, right? And we're going to see what that's going to look like. Go ahead and read this.
This is Revelation chapter 18 from the top. After this, I saw another angel coming down from heaven, having great authority, and the earth was made bright with his glory. And he called out with a mighty voice, Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great. She has become a dwelling place for demons, a haunt for every unclean spirit, a haunt for every unclean bird, a haunt for every unclean and detestable beast. For all nations have drunk the wine of the passion of her sexual immorality, and the kings of the earth have committed immorality with her, and the merchants of the earth have grown rich from the power of her luxurious living.
So you can pause right there, right? So it talks about they've drank the wine of the passion of her sexual immorality. That's the word of the Elohe, right? The legion of evil and the lineage of evil, lineage of Esau. Their mind state and their being, their philosophy is walk the earth, right? And not only has they walked the earth, we also see in this passage where it says the merchants of the earth have grown rich from the power of her living. Now you look at the way Americans live, being consumers and living off a consumerist economy, right? You see how all nations who deal with America build their economies off of what they sell to America, right? They're gonna when America falls, they can't afford to buy from them anymore. Oh, they're gonna be very pissed off because that's taking money from their economy. Right, when America falls, that's when that light's going to be extinguished. You see in Isaiah chapter 60 where it talks about this gross, like in the beginning of Isaiah 60, there's gross darkness covering the earth, right? And the light, the glory and the light is going to appear unto Jacob and Israel. Why is that? Because we're going to be risen up in their place. How America's being a great superpower over the world, we will be a great superpower in the world, right? And people are going to come to us and look at us for after they've served, but I'm talking about it in the internal kingdom after they've served and did X, Y, and Z. People are going to go to us for trade. People are going to look to us for light and wisdom. People are going to look to us like how they looked to America as that golden city, right? This right here, what we're reading about the luxurious living, the merchants, the sexual immorality, this only fits America. Like nobody else. People like to say this is making reference to the system over the world, and that doesn't make any sense because if it's the system all over the world, Babylon is supposed to cease to exist. So the entire world is going to cease to exist. That doesn't work with prophecy.
No.
Right. And I want to talk about things like that because that's something that gets left on the wayside and people don't talk about that much. We just brush right over it. But these are things like this you could use if somebody wanted to debate you on that topic of what is America. Where does America fit in prophecy? Who is this ancient Babylon? These are things I've seen Bug Out say is different things throughout my entire time of being in the truth. Now, like Oz, I know you done heard a Bug Out say some madness about Babylon.
No.
Like even Christians, Babylon is Israel. Babylon is the whole world.
It's an ideology. It's a mindset.
It's a mindset.
No. How's a mindset? How is everybody making money off of the mindset? It's talking about murder.
East Saudi Arabia.
Right. I'm glad that died.
Oh my God.
I'm so happy that died. But we can continue with this. Go ahead.
Verse 4. Then I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, lest you take part in her sins, lest you share in her plagues. For her sins are heaped high as heaven, and Yahweh has remembered her iniquity. Pay her back as she herself has paid back others, and repay her double for her deeds. Mix a double portion for her in the cup she mixed, as she glorified herself and lived."
Right. And that's them getting paid back for what they've done. They're going to get that double portion. Not only are you going to be destroyed by fire, your nation is going to crumble just like how Rome did. You outstretched your army, your economy went to crap, right? You know, because I'm trying to do better, right? It went to crap, right? You're going to get overrun. All these things is in prophecy, in the combination of Revelation, 2nd Esdras, and the major prophets, right? That's what's going to happen to them. That's coming, and that's how they're going to get paid back for what they've done to us, because we had to serve here for centuries, and still to this day are serving here, right? We, like the prophecies talk about, we put our money in pockets full of holes. When I get my paycheck, it's gone that day.
Literally,
it's gone that day, bro.
Oh, we were just talking about that yesterday. Brother Dawala was like, "Man, it's crazy that you work this hard for you to get a check." And he said, when you hit your camp, you damn it don't want to even look at it because you know it's not yours.
Yep.
Yeah, for real.
Yep. But you continue.
Verse 7. As she glorified herself and lived in luxury, so give her a like message of torment and mourning. Since in her heart she says, "I sit as a queen, I am no widow, and mourning I shall never see." For this reason her plagues will come in a single day, death and mourning and famine, and she will be burned up with fire. For mighty is the Lord God who has judged her.
And that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. That's that fire. When we read in 2nd Esdras about how the Lord's going to burn up the foundations of the world, that's that. That's what that looks like. That's what they're going to get. And that's all of this. What the tipping point for all of this to happen? Martial law, insurrections. We see this. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, this year, this is going to be a really telling year.
Yeah, 26 is about to be crazy. I can already.
Like you said, so we ain't out the first month. We ain't out the first month.
I hear wilding, bro.
Nigga that snatched the president from Venezuela, sent ice out on niggas, and like, bro, this is crazy.
Yeah,
hey, Trump YN for real.
Trump straight crash out. Straight crash out.
I'm trying to tell him, I'm like, yeah, Trump not playing. You these other presidents, they was just a face. No, Trump not playing with y'all. He don't give a damn about if you black, white, Mexican, it don't matter. You gonna get in line.
No, for real.
And we're gonna see that too, because this is one of the YouTubers I watch. One of my favorite ones. Like his name is The Amazing Lucas. Like if you wanna watch political content and be entertained at the same time by a black man who really isn't a raccoon, this is who you go watch, right? But look, this is where I got the inspiration to title this the way I did. It says, "White people are getting the black experience in Minnesota."
It looks like white is the new black.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! So I'm sure many of you guys are aware, unless you've been living under a rock, that ICE has taken down another American, another white American. Just want to point that out. The first one was a white woman, and this individual was a white man, I believe to be an RN. And it seems, as I said in the intros, that white is the new black. So what I will be doing as a service to the people, the American people, I will be doing a world tour. Okay, I will be starting off in Minneapolis and just traveling the states. And what I will be doing is trying to help white people, in this transitional phase of their newfound blackness, just to help them assimilate a little bit more. Because
that was funny.
This trial phase of the newfound blackness. Like, yeah, he's gonna make it. I'm telling you, man, he's about to give them the breakdown for it. Like how you gotta navigate the world with knowing knowing that they canceled your account for your white privilege. You know, that card, you can't swipe that.
I don't exist no more.
This is how this administration is treating y'all.
Damn.
Now, I don't mean to make light of the situation, but I think they're losing their minds right now. That's what's happening. All this, white privilege and all that is gone to the wayside. Now you are the new black. Okay, they are now treating you like they treat black men and black women. And I know that you're not very aware of what really goes down. Okay, because I know y'all were very much, some of y'all, not all of you, but some of y'all. I know some of y'all were really sad when Charlie went away. Okay, y'all were jumped right on the bandwagon of, hey, he's the MLK, he's just like MLK and everything. They just getting you for words. And it's like, okay, well, if you want to be like one of them, well, now you are truly one of them. And it's just it goes downhill from there. So within my curriculum, we'll go over how to introduce yourselves, how to, fake names when doing job interviews, because you don't want to use your regular name. Okay, that'll trigger the system. How to engage when going into grocery stores, going into just regular shops. Just understand there's probably gonna be someone who follows you and stuff like that. How to engage with law enforcement. I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm not even gonna go into the story that surrounded this shooting. And the reason why is it doesn't matter. Yes, I know. Just take some time. I know that's probably a bit much for you to hear, but being the new black, the story doesn't matter. All right. What they will try and do is vilify you no matter what. I know that's not fair. I know that the facts aren't even out and they're already saying this person was in the wrong.
An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots.
Bro, that is so crazy. Like hearing you say it, and then actually you just said and seeing it. That is crazy.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
I'm telling you, bro. They ain't never did that to Caucasians, bro. Bro. The armed assailant, he fired defensive shots. We've seen them take the strap from him. We've seen it. And you still lying. And she admitted to watching the videos. So you literally are lying. That's wild, bro. I thought that was only for us. If it happened on us, it's like, okay, this is the same game plan. They pick up, they're like Kevin Patullo from the Eagles. Like,
yeah, bro.
They put one play in it and just run Saquon up the middle. That's what I'm used to when it comes with us. But I never thought they was gonna do y'all like that. I never thought they was gonna do y'all like that, bro. That shit is crazy.
Yes, that is the new black. That's what we've been going through this entire time. I'm just now you're experiencing it firsthand. So I know y'all were thinking, well, we're going to use our white privilege to help you guys. Looks like that card is expired during this administration. Or at least the liberal white privilege. Y'all have been stripped from it. Okay, y'all practically like everyone else now. Before you guys were like Superman and Superwomen. I'm like, hey, leave them alone. Now they're gonna shoot both of us. I don't know what we're doing here right now.
He's out of line, but he's right.
You saw Kristi Noem talk about, hey, this person was violent. They had a 9mm.
You just made claims that the individual posed a threat to law enforcement.
That is no claim. It is the facts. The facts of this situation. This individual showed up to a law enforcement operation with a weapon and dozens of rounds of ammunition. He wasn't there to peacefully protest.
Not like this.
We had them talk about, I believe it was on Fox News, talking about, hey, what type of person carries a 9mm?
Don't let the left kid you with this, that this is just a normal protest where people are peacefully protesting. No, it's not. Peaceful protesters don't have 9mm weapons with 2 extra magazines.
I tried to tell you guys that, hey, these people were hypocrites when it came.
So you telling me your right to bear arms don't exist no more?
It's over with.
It's over with, bro. The Constitution, what are you talking about? You're walking around with a 9. You're a threat.
But y'all remember what Kyle Rittenhouse had? That nigga was down the streets with an AR-15.
With an AR, bro. I just watched the video of a white man saying he was against guns, but now after he's seen even ICE agents grabbing and snatching up people, he said he bought his first AR-15.
Yeah, he activated his blessing. You know what?
Activated the sword.
Activated the sword. It's like they're sleeper agents. But the crazy thing is, like, with the most ironic thing about this is that's what the Second Amendment was created for, just in case the government, just in case the I guess LOE's forefathers, back when they wrote the Constitution and Bill of Rights, XYZ, they looked into the future that this might happen one day, and now it's happening one day. This is the day it's happening, right? That, you know, the government's gonna do whatever they want, and you know what? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? You know, if you haven't, how do I say this without YouTube playing? If you haven't applied the Second Amendment, I suggest you try to apply it before there is no Second Amendment.
Yeah, you need to stock up. You need to stock up.
If you understand what I mean when I say that, you know, I like in Texas, you know, you grew up with that, so I mean that's just what we.
Not literally.
But like I was gonna say, like, you know, if you haven't applied it, this might be a good time to, you know. Let's continue.
Came to the Second Amendment because based off the bump stock, right? Based off the bump stock, man, all these pro-gun advocates, you know, the Colin Noir, you know, the tap dancing Negroes, the rest of them were all like, well, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. I don't really use bump stocks. Pam Bondi was the one, okay, who was listening to Trump when he was like, hey, maybe we should take away the guns and then give them due process. This is the same people y'all voted in, Republicans. Just want to let y'all know. And I know there's probably some lefties out there that voted for him as well. So I don't know what to tell you. I just the only thing I can be is kind of a mentor in this process. That's the only thing I really have to offer you, because you can see
they get what did Uncle Ruckus say?
Reverse
vitiligo. Yeah,
they getting vitiligo. It's getting dark. They're getting some melanin, man.
That they're now blaming you for your Second Amendment right of carrying a gun. And any black person knows you do not engage with law enforcement while carrying a piece. No. That's a guaranteed way to go bye-bye. That's a guaranteed way. That is straight to the morgue. You might as well drive yourself, okay? Damn. Now, I know you being white and all, you not having the same experiences, you may be like, well, Lucas, I have a Second Amendment right, okay? I didn't pull the gun out. All right, it was concealed, and I have a right to conceal. I know, boo-boo. I know. We got a lot to learn. Okay, we got a lot to learn. All right, that's not how that works as a newfound black person. That's not how that works at all. So as we saw, once they said gun, right? Gun, you got a gun. You're done, Joe. Bye, night. Now resisting while you have a piece on you is the craziest thing you could do. I just want to let you guys know that as a newfound black person, that is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Unless you did not want to exist that day, that is what you do. You know, hopefully this is a lesson to other white people out there, whether you're liberal, whether you're Republican, and you disagree with what's going on with ICE. I understand. But like I said, right now is not the time, okay? Right now is not the time to use that white privilege card because they rejected it, okay? It's coming back declined. I'm just letting you know, okay? I'm just letting you know.
Everybody want to be a nigga, but nobody want to be a nigga. How about that question?
I wish you all the best of luck. I'm here for you guys in case you have any questions. Hey, Lucas, what car should I drive? Should I drive this car? What about the tinted windows? That's a no. Don't do that. Don't do that. don't do that. Even if it's legal in your state, don't do it. Okay. There's a lot of rules, a lot of unspoken laws that you guys have to you just have to consume it, right? You're just gonna have to you're gonna have to take an expedited course. As I said before in this video, I don't mean to trivialize this person's demise, but that's how they're treating you when it comes to the news. They're going to justify it. We saw what happened with Renee Good. They're going to justify it. They're going to say you were violent. They're going to question as far as why you had a gun in the first place. Only criminals have guns while walking up to police. Yeah. I know. I can see you're bawling right now. I'm a nigga. I know. It's exactly what Paul Mooney said, right?
Let me see if I can. I need to get one more. That's pretty much the end of that. But let me.
He said, "I'm a nigga." Oh my God!
Let me see if I can find it. There's one more clip. I hope I can find it. Oh yeah, there it is.
This is the Onion News Network, keeping you safe from the lies.
Stabbing a classmate to death. We begin tonight with an update on a story we've been following all week. Hannah Stevenson, the 16-year-old girl from Detroit, accused of stabbing a classmate to death with a screwdriver last month. At her arraignment this afternoon, Hannah received the harshest possible sentencing from the judge. She will be tried as a Black adult.
Due to the extreme and violent nature of this crime, this court finds it fitting to try the defendant as an African American. Henceforth, he will be referred to for the jury by the name Mondale Brown.
Mondale
Brown. Mondale Brown.
Look how she was.
Hannah received the harshest possible sentencing from the judge. She will be tried as a Black adult.
Due to the extreme.
You're gonna treat me like a nigga?
And violent nature of this crime, this court finds it fitting to try the defendant as an African American. Henceforth, you will be referred to for the jury by the name Mondale Brown.
Once the trial begins next week, all courtroom images of Hannah will depict her as a 300-pound muscular Black man, and jury members will be instructed to imagine her as such.
We're going to do our best to make sure that Hannah is treated with the sympathy and sensitivity that she, as a photogenic white girl, deserves.
This is America. Nobody deserves to be treated as a Black man.
Now that Hannah has been proven Black, the court has instructed local media to assume she's guilty, and the police have retroactively charged her with assaulting her arresting officer. Hannah's 24 character witnesses have been replaced by
they retroactively charged her with assaulting the arresting officer.
Black. The court has instructed local media to assume she's guilty, and the police have retroactively charged her with assaulting her arresting officer. Hannah's 24 character witnesses have been replaced by a single crack addict who goes by the name of Skaggs. Hannah's parents are, of course, planning to appeal the ruling, saying that their daughter should at most be tried as a Black celebrity or a stunningly beautiful Filipino lady. Every time I hear a story like that, it makes me so glad I'm exempt from the legal system.
When you follow facts,
and now the thing is, now they're no longer exempt.
Yeah.
now you don't have that luxury no more. And it's I just want to say that, what this made me think about. This made me think about that this might help certain Israelites ideologies now. See, they're going through the curses now. So I mean,
they're going through the curses now. They was in the old covenant, bro. They've been going through the curses.
Been going through it, bro. This them being joined to the people.
Hey,
yeah, imagine that. Imagine.
Hey, when you come, when one of them come convert, you got to give them a name like Mondale Brown. You're not
Brown. What a crazy, bro. That I ain't gonna lie. That's one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time, bro. In a long time. But yeah, let's look at this, man. You know, so this on the screen. Yeah, I'm gonna hit this one. So yeah, we can go with this. We can now segue. You know, I just wanted to bring that to people's attention so they're prepared for the lineage of evil or lineage of Esau to now be right there with you. You know, after this happened, I'm pretty sure they're gonna start trying to say the N-word, you know. Like when a rap song comes on and the part where the N-word comes on, they're just gonna go ahead and say it. So you guys just be prepared to react a certain type of way. You know, that's what's gonna happen.